And welcome everybody to Easy Peasy Crypto, where crypto assets are made simple. And today I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Thomas Hausenberger from Austria. Welcome, Thomas.
Hello, hello to the community. How are you?
So, Thomas has been investing in crypto since 2015. What was that like for you getting started buying your first Bitcoin, Thomas?
Buying the first Bitcoin was was a really crazy because a friend of mine said you have to do this, and I did it. I did it, yeah. I bought for at this time in April 2015. I bought for $415.
Yeah.
Uh, I hold it and I was happy about it, but I don't understand the first. The
Yeah.
first time I didn't know what to do, but it was a good decision.
So have you done trading with your Bitcoin, or have you used it? Are you a hodler? Are you holding on, or what's been your philosophy on your crypto assets?
At the beginning was 2015. There are two things. The half I was holding and have a look. So, and the other thing I put in mining to create my own Bitcoins. That was the beginning. So
Yeah, nice.
two steps on the one holding and mining at the beginning.
Yeah. So you've always been looking at how to create passive income with your Bitcoin, is that right? From very
Yes,
early on.
it's the one step is I said holding is the one thing, but hold one Bitcoin in 1 year, it's also one Bitcoin. So it have to grow it. We need more of, I call it always little friends. We need more of these little friends. So create an income stream to get more Bitcoins. And in the future, so I said next year after the halving or 2021, we don't know when it goes really up. When you make a decision for the passive income stream and you have a lot of these little friends, you will be happy.
So what kind of tools are you using now to create passive income with your Bitcoin? Because I understand you're involved in, and I work with you as well on this same project, on your masternode project and your Lions
Yes,
Wealth project. Tell us a little bit about that.
as you said, right, it's one of the favorite projects at the moment is masternodes. Masternodes is so I don't want to say all the technical stuff here. So masternodes are the security points in the blockchain networks. And to keep this security, to keep it up, to make the proof of the transactions and so on, the masternodes get paid.
Yeah.
And we split this project up to about 50 masternodes in one pool, so we can minimize the risk. It's in a high risk project a little bit wrong, but we can make the risk lower, and then we say, okay, we start this masternode and this and this and this, about 50. Sometimes it's 45, sometimes it's 55. So it goes up and down all the time. And there's a different ways. And yeah, we have an own company with 8 people who are looking all the time which masternode is good, which not. And that's our passive income stream for our clients. I think that was too
So
much technical.
one of the things that I know a lot of investors are looking at is what kind of security or what kind of risk versus the return are they getting with the masternodes projects? How are you evaluating that risk?
Uh, Masternodes for me is always high risk. You have a high return, but it's high risk. With this masternode pool that we make 550 masternodes in background, we can minimize the risk, but I say it's high risk. But in the past, we make about 8 to 9% per month. So more risk, more return.
Yeah. So those laws of finance are never really gotten, even though we're talking about new types of assets like the crypto assets. Is that right? Would you agree with that statement?
Say
That the
it
laws
again.
of risk and reward are always linked together. Low risk, low reward.
Yeah,
High
it's
risk,
from,
high reward. Yeah.
it's always the same. The more risk you take, the more you get back. It's the
Yeah.
same thing in every part in the life.
Yeah.
No risk, no
Exactly.
return. Stay employed with no risk. That's one way.
So how long did it take you to get you where you are today, running this very large pool of masternodes and a whole program, set up a global program to help other investors be able to make the same types of returns that you do?
Simple job. You say that I'm in the crypto business. I'm at the beginning of 2015.
Yeah.
Before I started my entrepreneurship with selling seminars and workshops to help people in other assets, so about 5.5 years. After this workshop business or seminar business, I started working for other companies in crypto with mining and different companies, different projects, and yeah, about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
last year, at the end of the last year, we started talking about this new project Landswell. And you know where we are now.
Yeah. No. It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, in full disclosure, I'm an investor as well in this project, and I love seeing the returns coming in every month. And it's been quite stable for the last 6 months or so. So I really enjoy working with Tomas, and I think it's an amazing opportunity. But Tomas, is there a particular story or an example that sums up why you like investing in these alternative platform of masternodes?
All right, for me it's high risk. I love I love these things when it's a little bit risky. I looked I look always around what can I do because to have money under the pillow it's not the best thing. It's the same like you bring it to a bank account. So what you can do with it, Masternode, it's a really great thing. You get paid in Bitcoin every first and 16th of the month. When you hold it and the price goes up or the worth of the Bitcoin, you have more than you get out. So you can earn in this project 3 times because your investment maybe increases also in this time. So
Yeah.
there are 3 ways to make money with this thing. And that the thing is everybody can do it. You pay one time and get paid a minimum of 2 years. So
Yeah.
the best thing we can do.
So is there a lot of, if someone was to become an investor, is there a lot of things that they need to do to manage their investment if they were to
Now,
invest in as a pool versus investing, creating, buying their own masternode?
now there's nothing you do. You have also make by the investor has to buy his pool, his share of the pool, and that's it. All the other things with make the pool, change the master node in the background, everything what to do is makes the Lion Wealth Management. So that's our job. And
Yeah,
they
no, that's good.
look every first and every second 16th of the month. So about midnight, my Europe time, he can look in his back office and see his rewards.
Yeah,
Nothing more. That's it.
yeah,
The easy
no, that's
way.
awesome. And so what type of fees does the investor have if they were to invest with you? What kind of fees do you take? Because obviously you're not doing this for free, creating this masternode pool. Are there, like if somebody buys into a mutual fund, they're looking at fees between 0.01 to 3%. What
Yes. So
types of fees does an investor have?
we don't have a percentage you said, but yes, there are fees, of course, because we love our job, but that's too much to pay the bills at the end of the month. So one thing is the masternode rewards. This 8% we had in the last month are only 75%. 25% is for us, for the management and so on.
Yeah.
So that's one of these things. And for the back office, for this administration, for software updates, for support and so, we have an annual fee of $99. That's it.
Yeah. No, that's so, but in full transparency, the person who's investing, what they see is just their monthly, they're getting 4% every 2 weeks, or twice a
Yeah.
month, they're getting an average of 8% a month, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's the
Yeah.
big thing for the investor, and there our costs are away. So they're all paid for us.
Yeah. So do you think it's easier or harder for new passive investors to get started with Bitcoin than when you first got started?
Well, I thought you will ask me this question. There are some some things are, of course, are easier. When I look here in Austria, when I bought my first Bitcoin, I got telephone support, step by step, through how go on this website, go there, send your passport, call this guy, take your photo, and so on. Now when I buy Bitcoin here in Austria, I go to the next post office. I go to the ATM. I got 7 kilometers away is the ATM. Put in card. Hold my phone. So in case of the webcam at the ATM, and I have the Bitcoin on the wallet. So that's a point that's much more easier.
Yeah.
What is a point what is a little bit harder here in Austria is this anonymously thing. But that's good because we need the regulations. We need the regulations and to know what to do, what we can do, what is allowed. So that's
No, I'm glad we talked about that, because we're still clearly in a phase where regulations there's so many that are still undecided. So many countries, particularly the US, has been cracking down on what's allowed, what's not allowed. How do you see this playing out? Do you think we're going to have a resolution in the next, or what time frame do you think we're going to see a resolution to more standardized regulations coming in?
that's a funny question. What that means? What do you think when the government will decide something? Yes, that's a funny thing. The only thing is we need it. So I said, for me as an example, with crypto, we have it now here. You're sitting in the car, next crossing, you see red light, traffic light red, yes?
Yeah.
Next step it's blue, what you're doing. So that's what we have in crypto now, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's green light. China is the special best example. Everything green, yes, every light green, next day yellow. Red, blue, white, dark blue.
Yeah.
Every few months another way. So we need a straight way, then we can work better. Like China. So I think in Australia or here in Austria we get in the right direction. But for me, China is always the the crazy example. Yes, no, maybe no.
Yeah.
At the moment,
So,
yes.
so have you seen a lot more interest in your crypto asset projects since Facebook announced their Libra campaign, their Libra coin?
Yes, of course. Because I think the Libra coin is not real important for the crypto market. It's not so, as coin, it is not important. But for the marketing, it's a very good vehicle. Because with the Libra, Bitcoin goes back in the medias, in the newspapers, in maybe television, radio, and all these things. And this is this paper, Facebook Libra coin that brings it back to the audience. But I don't think that the coin will be a great great thing. And I'm sure the crypto community will not accept it, but it helps to get more popular.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions. I think I'm wondering if there isn't some betting going on as to whether the Libra coin actually ever sees the light of day. What are your thoughts? Is the
The
Libra
Libra,
coin ever going to actually come into existence?
the Libra coin is for me is like normal money in digital way. It's
Yeah.
not real crypto. It's not real fiat money. It's a small hybrid between, not more. And yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that it will be only the
Well,
vehicle.
yeah, thanks for sharing your input with us because I see the same thing. It's the talking about the Facebook Libra has opened up the eyes to a lot of people to say, well, maybe it's something they can take a look at now. Maybe it's not so crazy, this talk of this digital money.
Yes, that's it. That's all. So
Yeah.
it goes up. The audience is talking about it. Like 2017, the Wall Street is talking about, you know, what happened. Bitcoin goes up, the market goes up, and now we have the vehicle Libra. So it's the same time like 2 years before, you know, in August, the 10th of August 2017, it starts
Yeah.
the run. So we have this here. We have the second. You have the third, I think. Yeah, maybe we have the same time for the bull run like 2 years before. Maybe that's how we will see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to tell. But so, Tomas, where do you see the most overlooked opportunities in investing in passive investment streams right now? Would that be the
The,
masternodes? Is that what you see as the most overlooked opportunity?
yes, we have. In our company, we have a few more opportunities. So for me, masternode is a funny thing because I love this risky thing, but that's not for everybody. Uh, some people say, okay, I want to invest. I don't want to make something at the bank account. I want to let my money get more, let it grow, but I don't want to take this risk. That's also okay. In this case, so may I have something like old timer, classic car coin is meant.
Yeah.
So you can invest your money in a classic car coin. So behind the coins, this cryptocurrency, there are old timers. We bought now the last time for $500,000 or euro, old timer. So this cryptocurrency is backed by old timer or a young timer, like Porsche, Ferrari, Mercedes, whatever. So that's
Okay.
lower risk and lower return. That's for other clients.
Yeah.
I have also an online casino. You can take part of it with lower risk, a little bit lower return between. So for every client is another thing. So I love masternodes, yes, but always split it. I said not all in, like a little bit here, a little bit there. This higher risk, lower risk. So minimize the risk to go as good as can. But I love masternodes, yes. I love the
Yeah.
returns every 14 days.
Yeah. So what I wanted to explore with you is so when somebody's investing in the masternodes project with you, they're actually earning Bitcoin. So you're still getting more Bitcoin every month. Is that correct?
To get more Bitcoins, so you get every,
You're actually earning more Bitcoin every month, even though you're investing in other cryptocurrencies, correct?
I don't understand now the question.
So the portfolio, when someone invests with you, it
Yeah.
is their Bitcoin holdings that are actually growing. They're actually earning in Bitcoin.
Yes, when he invests in Bitcoin, there are the two ways with the masternodes. When you invest in Bitcoin, you take this investment volume, it's price high, so that's your pool share. This is waiting and growing for 2 years, and you get paid to the every 2 weeks with Bitcoin. So when you earn and hold all the results at the end of the 2 years, you should have much more than when you say, okay, I buy one Bitcoin and hold it for 2 years. So
So
you're
what
getting
happens
more.
if somebody wants to take some money out earlier? Can they take out some of their money, or what's the process?
Oh,
If
that's
they
no
wanted to,
problem.
yeah.
That's not the problem. So all the things, all the rewards you get every 2 weeks, you can take out every time. So not
Yeah.
every time you have a minimum payout value of around about 100 US dollars. So, but everybody can take his money out. Only the investment volume, this whatever, is a minimum of 2 years, 24 months.
Okay.
But
So the initial investment they're holding for 2 years, but they can take out their 8%. And this is not an annual fee. This is a monthly payout, correct?
the
They could take out.
8%, yeah, every day is no problem. Sometimes when I have the time, I do the payout, maybe 10 minutes, maybe it takes 1 day. When I have time, I click on the button.
Yeah.
When
So if
asking
someone
for
was to invest, say, 10,000 US dollars with one of your programs, they would be earning approximately at this time about $800 per month. Is that correct?
yes, in the last month we have really 800. The few months before I have months with 9% now. I have one time we was a little bit over 10. Yes, it goes up and down,
Yeah.
but the last half year in the average 8 to 9%.
So what would
No,
happen if someone was going to, can they reinvest that 8% and get compounded interest on their
yes,
money?
yes, of course. They can switch in the back office and buy more or say, okay, I have all my money in the high risk masternode and I make an upgrade to classic car or to the online gambling or whatever. Or pay out
Yeah.
the all possible very easy ways.
Okay, so they could let the dividends sit there and earn and grow as more hodling as they're holding on to Bitcoin, or they could take it out and spend it and go buy coffee with it at Starbucks, right? Or they could reinvest that dividend and compound their interest, their earnings on that same masternode project. Is that right?
That's right. They are always open. And one of the next steps we have in now the next months, you can take out your rewards. We get an on prepaid credit card for Bitcoin. Our clients can use our Lions Wealth prepaid credit card, charge it, and buy this coffee at Starbucks with it. So very easy thing. Or
That's coming
whatever.
out in Europe. Where is that coming out in? That the credit card, the Bitcoin
Where
credit
comes
card.
we are talking with a few supporter at the moment who can make this for us. So we hope at the end of the year we have it available. So it's a Europe card at the moment. We're looking also for a Hong Kong card or somewhere outside, but is possible or what works all over the world. It's
Yeah.
not so easy to find somehow a company, but there are a lot of companies, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, and that's how fast the whole crypto, the world is changing, for sure.
I was changing, 2 years before every small, oh, I be careful with my words. Every small company get this bankless license, give out credit cards for crypto. And on one month, January 2018, all the cards were blocked. 450,000 prepaid Bitcoin cards are blocked, shut down. So since this, that's one of the regulations since this time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's not so easy to get this card, but we will find the supplier.
Yeah, awesome. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time today, Tomas, to talk to us about masternodes and how people can create passive income, an alternative passive income to their Bitcoin investments. Is there any other final thoughts you'd like, or final words of advice to our listeners?
Yes, for always a view on the market. I look very much time to see what is on the market. Say so for me. Don't be greedy. Don't
Yeah.
invest in projects on the market where you see, oh, uh, so invest with a clear mind, not so, oh, 20% a month each month and this stable every month 20%. When you hear something like this, be careful. The crypto
Yeah.
market goes up and down 50% a month. No one can pay you exact 20% or 15% or whatever. When you hear this, don't believe it. I
Yeah.
I make these experiences also in 2015 with a lot of companies. I saw it with partners and friends until now. When we're losing money the next time and we lost money in the past. But think about it and clear-minded and no, don't be greedy when you hear the numbers of some companies or do some research.
So
90,
Thomas,
90%
yeah,
of them.
excellent. So how can people find out more about you and more about this Lions Wealth Masternode program that you've got?
That's very easy. In every social media channel, on Facebook, on Instagram, or whatever, put in my name, you find me, and send me a message, and we can talk about all this stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for your time today, Tomas. And I personally enjoy working with you. I can tell you that. And I can vouch for the fact that my returns have been at least 8% per month since we started working together with this project in February. So I really enjoy working with you, and I hope there's a lot of listeners who are willing to take a gamble and take a look at how they can systematically make passive returns with their crypto assets.
Of course, and I'm waiting for a lot of messages now from in my Facebook or Instagram inbox to ask all the questions personally.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Tomas.
Thank
All right. See
you.
ya.